So I wanted to make one last video before Nintendo drops the fusion bomb that is the Nintendo Switch onto the world. And I know I pretty much switched to facecam for my video style, but I figured it'd be appropriate to use gameplay footage for this one, because I wanted to use gameplay from games that helped me wait for Zelda Breath of the Wild as it kept getting delayed over and over again. Now, I used many games for that, and a lot of good games came out between E3 2014 and now, but these are some that stuck out in my mind as games that helped me wait, and it just seems kind of ridiculous to think that some Zelda DLC for a Sonic game and Mario Kart are two aspects of that, but I don't know, it's quirky and different enough that I figured I'd include it. So as I record this video, it's 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on March 2nd, 2017. Tomorrow, the Nintendo Switch releases, and I'm going to be going to Best Buy at opening time and picking up my Nintendo Switch. I'll definitely be doing a vlog about that whole process, plus a basic unboxing and a setup video for the Nintendo Switch as I kind of talk about it and blab on. So I just want to spend a few minutes kind of talking about what I think is going to happen with the system, some parts of the system that I kind of want to address, and just other things. I'm not really going to go off a script or anything, not that I ever use a script. The first thing is, how do I think that this system is going to sell? Well, there's two possible scenarios. I don't think it's going to fail as bad as the GameCube or the Wii U, because we've already been seeing everyone talking about it. I know a lot more people now that know about the Switch's existence versus the Wii U, where basically nobody knew about it when it came out. People thought it was just a Wii accessory. It could either be about as low as the Nintendo 64, which was, in the 30 millions, which, wouldn't be too bad. It would be beating out the Xbox One, which hasn't even surpassed 25 million sold yet, as far as I'm aware. I mean, we wouldn't even know because Microsoft only releases ship-to-store units and not sold. The other scenario is that the system is going to be another Wii, and it's going to sell well over 100 million units in its lifetime. I could see this happening. If Nintendo fixes the problem with game droughts and gets us plenty of games and markets the system well, which so far their marketing has been perfect for the system, then we could see this thing selling quite a bit. In fact, I would not be surprised that people who didn't get pre-orders in are probably going to have a very difficult time finding this system unless they're willing to line up in front of a store at 4:30 in the morning like I did back in April 2007 to pick up a Wii. I lined up at about maybe 4:30 a.m. in front of Toys R Us, and like 10 minutes later, people started lining up behind us. We were just lucky enough to be first in line, and we finally got a Wii that many months later after release because we didn't pre-order, we couldn't get one. And I could see that happening again with the Switch. So I don't see it failing as badly as the Wii U or the GameCube. The lowest I would ever possibly see it going is maybe around like where the PS4 is now in its lifetime, or maybe as the lowest would be like N64. But the highest I would see it going is, in between Wii and PS2 levels of sales. It could do pretty well, and I think it's going to do well. We know the system's launching with an amazing game, Breath of the Wild. Now that game is also on Wii U. That makes this a multi-platform game, not an exclusive. That's definitely something that people have to keep in mind, although I'm not sure if the Wii U is going to cut into the Switch's sales that much for that game. But also in the first year, we're getting quite a few other games just from Nintendo alone. We're getting a new 3D Mario game that's going to be pretty much what we've been wanting since Sunshine came out. And we're also getting other big games like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I'm so excited for that game, and some third-party games too, including Project Sonic 2017 and various others. So this thing's going to have quite a few games in its launch year, or launch half a year, I should say, or a little over half. So that's pretty neat. The thing's already going to be delivering more than the Wii U ever did in its first year. And keep in mind, we haven't approached E3 yet. Once E3 drops, we're going to get a lot of game drops, and we're going to get a lot of features dropped. Nintendo's going to have to go balls to the wall, because Microsoft is also going to probably show off Scorpio at E3. Although I don't think Microsoft's going to be too much of a threat. They're not doing super well this generation. It seems to be the third-generation curse. This is something that Fat Gamer brought up. If you notice, like, every single system that has been in its third generation, every game company in its third generation, has always kind of flubbed a little bit. So the N64 sold significantly less than its predecessors and kind of lost a lot of its third-party support. The PlayStation 3 definitely was not very good until 2010 or so, and look at the Xbox One now. We could see Xbox kind of recover itself, but who knows? I think Nintendo is the only one that hasn't really had the same pattern, because they didn't exactly recover from N64, and the Wii was kind of a fluke. Anyways, it was just kind of shown off today that the Nintendo Switch, as of now, is going to be using friend codes to search for people who you have not played with yet. So anybody who's not local, who you haven't played with, who's not added on any of your social media like Facebook or Twitter, you have to use a friend code to add them on your end. Now, I think that they're going to reveal like username searching systems as time comes on. Like, you have to keep in mind that Nintendo's online system is not ready yet, and it's not going to be ready till maybe like fall or so, and that could get delayed. I think that Nintendo's trying to work around the system where you can actually change your display names, so maybe they they're trying to find a way that lets you search for people so that you don't get lost in different display names. I wouldn't look too much into it right now. I mean, don't forget that the Switch is in its infancy. It's not going to have that many features at launch, like no internet browser, which I can understand that one completely. That's for security and hacking purposes. No Netflix or other apps. It's pretty much just going to run games, and run games well. I mean, hell, the thing's not even going to have Virtual Console at launch, which is a little bit weird to think about. I said my thoughts on whether or not it's going to get GameCube support in the previous video of mine, so definitely check that out if you haven't watched it already. Summary, I actually don't think it's going to get GameCube support, or it's going to get heavily modified GameCube support. But who knows what we could see on Virtual Console, but that is a system that needs updating badly. I mean, Nintendo didn't really change much from the Wii's system when they released the Wii U and the 3DS, other than adding a better save state feature. But they need to have the games priced better, and they need to maybe include some sort of like subscription service, kind of like a Netflix of Virtual Console. I would gladly pay $10 a month if it meant having unlimited access to all of a certain tier of games. Like, let's say $5 a month gets you NES and Game Boy, and then $10 a month gets you SNES, $15 a month gets you N64, obviously and below, of course, and $20 includes like everything, even if they include like GameCube above that or something. Who knows? I think that'd be a pretty cool system to kind of pay for a subscription service to play games, Virtual Console games. That'd be neat. As for built-in storage space, what you have to remember is that the Nintendo Switch, if you get a physical game, it doesn't require you to install the game onto the game's internal storage. So the amount of internal storage space you get built into the system probably isn't going to get in the way for too many people. I'm going to be getting all physical games for the system unless they're download-only games, which is, in my opinion, if you can justify having physical media for a system, then that's when I do it. Like, I have all physical games for the Wii U, and I'm going to have all physical games for this, but for like the PS4, unless I found like a great deal on a disc, I mostly did digital, because I'm pretty much used to digital. I've been PC gaming for years. That being said, I did get a 200GB micro SD card, and that's actually the size I recommend you get. SanDisk sells a Class 10 micro USB, or micro SD for, I think, like $70, 200 gigs, versus like $300 for 256 gigs. It's definitely a better deal to do that than it is to get the 256 for now. Of course, as time goes on, those prices will go down and we'll get bigger sizes available. The Switch does support up to 2 terabytes, which is pretty cool. The games I'll be getting at launch will be Breath of the Wild, and I'm also going to download Fast Remix, which is going to be about $20. That's basically Fast Racing Neo, but ported to the Switch with better graphics and more content. It's going to be tough playing those games because I'm currently balls deep into Horizon Zero Dawn. That's an excellent game, and, I guess I can't complain for having multiple amazing games available to me from the start. And I'm going to actually be doing a video kind of comparing Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda Breath of the Wild in multiple aspects, because I'm sure a lot of people are interested. Two massive open-world RPGs that kind of define the systems they were on, releasing pretty much around the same time, February 28th versus March 3rd. Unfortunately, the Best Buy store I pre-ordered my Switch from doesn't do midnight launches, so, the soonest you'll see a new video from me will be tomorrow, after I do all my stuff in the morning. I'll be recording and editing that video when I will want to be playing my Switch, but whatever. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Again, we're about to get that bombshell dropped on us. Let's see what happens. Here's to a great new generation for Nintendo gaming, and Nintendo, if you want to make the Switch sell really well and make the first part of the generation really good, you should release a new Animal Crossing game in the style of my countdown video I made, and do that ASAP. Thank you.